What is up YouTube, and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. It's time for the newest patch, and the tier list will probably drop tomorrow, so stay tuned for that one. And if you want cheaper wild calls or even cheaper skins, just feel out to check out the link in the description below, use code KIRKS and save big time. Anyways, let's talk about the patch notes. WildRift patch 6.3e. We are going deeper and deeper into the alphabet. Soon we have like a patch called 6.3Z or something. This patch we have a couple of balance changes across the map and release of Kog'Maw. Welcome to patch 6.3e. This patch we have a couple of balance changes, yeah, aka the cutest and slightly grossest champion to join the Rift yet. Who's more gross than Kog'Maw? Does anyone come to mind? I don't think so. We also have new entries to the Anima Tag skin line, so welcome to patch 6.3e. New champion, Kog'Maw. Belched forth from a rotting void incursion deep in the wasteland of Acathia, Kog'Maw is an inquisitive, yet putrid creature with a caustic, gaping mouth. Man, as a German reading these words in these long sentences, this particular void spawn needs to gnaw and drool on anything within reach to truly understand it. Though not inherently evil, Kog'Maw begwilling, oh, come on now, like I'm German, give me a break, is dangerous, as this often precedes a feeding frenzy, not for sustenance, but to satisfy its unending curiosity. Honestly, at this point, I'm wondering, because I see, like, you see this little dash here, as well as using commas, like, how much is actually, like, put into AI and given out as notes, them like some extra info, and then you just let it write something and you just correct it. I'm just wondering, because every time I see this dash, it's like, what am I seeing here? Kog'Maw will be released on the 11th of December. Champion changes. YUUMI has been struggling in the laning phase compared to other supports since her rework, so we are increasing some of her early game power. Evelyn's clear is getting sinfully smoother. She'll be able to chump camps before they even know what hit them. Kalista is also getting a power up this patch, so she can stick the landing with her abilities. We also have been keeping an eye on Nidalee since her launch, and we are going to be declawing some of her damage. Teemu's shrooms are also slightly less explosive, and Morgana's spell spam has been cursed, so she won't be able to throw out as many pools of darkness. And last but not least, we are reining in, is it? No, that's right? Reining in some of Vayne's mobility. You know, every single time I see this as well, it's like, who is using ChatGPT here? No, yeah, like, I don't know, like, obviously everybody nowadays, or most people, should be using AI to spell check, to grammar check, and all these things, but it's just like, every single time I see it's like, spot it. Not saying they do it, by the way, just, I mean, you should be, but obviously to an extent. YUUMI, Feline Friendship, Health Regen, 25 plus champion level times 7 plus 25% ability power to 60 plus champion level times 7 plus 25% ability power, and the cooldown from 18 to 12 seconds. That's a huge change. It's a 6 seconds change. That is humongous. Like 6 seconds, as well as like 35 base. That is huge. That's a humongous change. Another change, Prowling Projectile. The maximum base damage increases starting on level 2 by 10, and on the highest skill point or highest skill level by 40. The slow effect is also seeing a massive increase from 25 to 45 on rank 1. Bro is not moving at all anymore. And on the highest from 45 to 65. Best Friend's attack with bonus damage is also seeing an increase from 10 to 14. Oh my, this is so much, no? Unit bonus healing and shielding power season increased by 2% here across all the levels. Zumi's base shielding value from 70 to 85. That is that's some insane buffs across the board. Like, I always ask or tell people to be careful when they buff so many things at the same time, because it can put champions from like really bad to absurdly insanely overpowered, especially if it's a newly released champion, or rather like a newly reworked champion. So YUUMI is something you have to look out for, because I'm curious how this one will actually affect her, because YUUMI was changed to being like a parasite who can just hop onto anyone, to parasite who needs like one specific body to stick to for the longest time, due to becoming the best friend. Evelyn, Hate Spike. Base damage sees an increase starting on level 2 by 2.5, on the highest level by 7.5. And the damage to minions sees an immediate increase by 5%, and the highest it's 20%. What does this do? It gives Evelynn, again, the possibility to maybe be played mid lane like in the past. Is it good? I don't know. What it also does, it helps Evelynn clear waves in mid to late game as a jungle. So this is helping out Evelynn just having even more gold. So it's not the biggest, most influential change in terms of damage in itself. I would say the change is more about her gold income, which means then it's an indirect change to her damage because she has more gold. Kalista. Base damage per spear after the first from 12. This is still the same on rank 1 here. 12, then it's 22, plus 2, then it's plus 4, then it's plus 6. So that's a sizable buff here. And the ultimate cooldown is being reduced by 10. This is definitely a sizable buff, especially with other adjustments that we'll see later, because I scanned the patch. I think Kalista is going to be a little bit better, but she'll still struggle in the meta at the moment, like mages are involved, or a lot of CC. If Kalista is allowed to play, she's very scary. But realistically speaking, she should never be. Because the champion, like level 1, this champion is crazy. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. Due to her low range, being super squishy, and all these things. Nidalee. Base stats, what do we see here? Base damage from 58 to 54, that's a humongous early game nerf on a champion that has to snowball to a degree. Cougar, but that's human Q. I'll check. Cougar form base damage from 15 to 10, and on the highest rank it's -5. And for some reason, with the aspect of the Cougar, which is her ultimate ability, she is getting tankier because we go from 2 plus 1 times champion level plus 2.5% ability power to 2 times 1 champion level to 3% ability power. So she's losing damage and gains a tiny bit of tankiness. This here is a sizable early game nerf. This will not kill her, but if you would consider her broken, she's like less overbearing, because with like this amount of 80 difference with running green tree, you can outstat people like quite easily. And now it's obviously gonna be a lot harder. Teemo, blinding dart. 55% ability power to 50. -5%, and the damage of Timothy's shrooms also goes down from 30% to 25% ability power, and the bonus over time damage also from 30% to 25%. Teemo already struggled quite a bit. It was usually only really good when people are A, don't know what to do, and B, are generally bad. Because the champion is not really that broken, it's just annoying to deal with and really, really annoying when he's fed. Which happens too many times, of course, so that's why he gets nerfed, because people have no concept of object permanence. So yeah, this will definitely make it harder for Teemo to kill, especially in closer games due to just less damage available. But it also deals with one of the biggest issues of Teemo here. Dealing with Teemo is running to shrooms if you're not aware of sweeping or using the Scry's Bloom or all these things, because there's a decent loss of damage, because we have a 10% damage loss here, 10% AP scaling loss, sorry. Yeah. Some of the more interesting changes is coming to Morgana. We have Tormented Shadow, which is the reset mechanic of her W. For each instant that Soul Siphon triggers, this is the passive, this is the W like ability name. Tormented Shadow's remaining cooldown is reduced by 5%, and he has a 3.5% total cooldown. You have to think about the amount of champion shields simultaneously, or big monsters. So this one here can, let's for example, it's free, and it's 4.5% gone, which is roughly like would be another instance of Soul Siphon. But since it's remaining, I don't know how the trigger mechanism really works. If it's at the same time, like same server tick or something, that reduces the total cooldown. How can I explain this? Let's say you have 10 seconds, and let's just say it's 50% cooldown reduction that you hit 5. This would be one tick. But what happens if multiple things overlap at the same time? If it would be going from instantly up again? That's something I do not know, since the numbers they're not really that high. But yeah, I don't really understand why we're nerfing Morgana. Morgana is way too safe in environments where people don't know what to do. 100% agree. Morgana is a solid staple in a sense of you don't know what to do because you just press W in the wave and you just AFK. Also agree. Champion's performance overall is pretty good if she's allowed to get to later stages of the game. The biggest problem is she has nothing to do in early game, early to mid game. She just exists. It's basically a black shield bot, or maybe with hopes a Q bot. Because to play Morgana good for mid lane, you have to understand the following things: like number one, when and why to pick her, and number two, how to play the map utilizing your champion. When is your most important recall? Which is after, I think, 3 waves. If you have Sweet Tooth, and it's 4 waves if you don't have Sweet Tooth. I think that was the number. Oh, Vayne. Tumble. We are nerfing actually Vayne. That's crazy. Tumble cooldown increased by 0.6. I don't know why we're nerfing Vayne. It's quite funny to me, but here we are. I don't even have words for this. Gameplay changes. Tanky boots and enchants are getting trimmed down along with a Bloodthirster, which has been a dominant first item choice for marksmen. Yeah, for 90 patches, I wonder why. Death Stance and Magnetic Blast are also tuned down for fairer fights. Rally slow and general item polish were adjusted so that there could be a smoother, more balanced gameplay experience. They call the Bloodthirster nerf, by the way, which is funny. Bloodthirster. The item price goes down by 100 gold. It gains 10 attack damage and it gains 250 health, but loses attack speed. It also loses its lifeline, and it gains a ruby crystal in its item build. So the funny part about this one is, if you look at how prevalent anti-shielding is, this might actually end up benefiting BT users more than the previous version, or at least opens up BT to be an item that can be built by multiple classes rather than just AD carries. Because since you see that the item passive is called Lifeline, which was the shielding part, you now can go BT again as well as Sterox, which is another option that is like something for top laners or junglers, which is very interesting. It also opens up potential tank builds for like Corki with Sterox again, where they're like increasingly tankier and harder to kill, and they just basically remove your ability to one-shot them, and then they'll win over time. Definitely an interesting change. I like this version more because HP and anti-shielding just killed Bloodthirster so fast. Phantom Dancer. Spectral Waltz. Duration of gain attack speed and bonus movement speed from 3 to 6 seconds. The cooldown is also reduced by 10 seconds. Okay, so they're actually thinking about making PD better. Look, the benefits are like doubled, doubled, and the cooldown, like the negative side, is halved. Like, do you understand how much of a buff that is for an item? Because the item is so shit. So, PD might actually be a pickup that you might be worth considering nowadays. Magnetic Blaster 100 gold nerf. This item is 3000 gold now. Minus 10 and 20 damage on the highest here, but increased damage to minions. This is level scaling. But the damage early game is increased by 30%. So this means... okay, so it's a lot better for clearing minions, but less good for killing champions. Yeah, so it's really a lot better for killing minions, especially during the early game, because they describe, like, as the first item, it'd be like the purpose of the item would be then to clear waves, because we see from 50 to 40, but the instant damage to minions is increased from 20 to 50%. So the idea about killing minions with that item has been improved. So this is like the idea of making it a first item. So their idea apparently seems to be that BT is not incentivized to be first item, but BT is still a first item, and they also want this to be a first item candidate to just clear wave and get more gold, which is basically an idea that AD carriers love to have, or a thing that they love to do. Death Stance, Cauterize, physical and magical damage stored from 30 to 27. This is the second nerf in a row. I think previously we were at 33%, now we are at 27. Damage stored for ranged champions unchanged, so this is definitely something into the right direction, but we need to monitor this item a lot closer, because this item makes it very, very difficult for jungle champions that are ahead to be punished. It's very, very difficult. Riot's Crystal Scepter, Icy, movement speed slow from 1 second to 0.75 seconds. This is probably related to server tick stuff. Like, if you take damage, you, like, let's say Morgana W, you take damage like consistently, and now with this, it makes it less annoying to just actually just be like handicapped in game and not able to move. I don't necessarily know why we're nerfing Riot. I don't think the item was really overbearing, and the item was primarily built by champions who have damage over time effect. So I honestly, I'm kind of at a loss here, but yeah, I mean, fair enough. Berserker's Greaves attacks restore health on hit from 8 to 10. So what does this do? With BT being in the current state, you basically pivot away entirely from running Gluttonous Grease and will not even think about them anymore as an AD carry. You will always go for these Berserker Grease. There might be exceptions like Ezreal as well as Corki, but all the other champions will just go for Berserker Grease due to the loss of attack speed on BT. I think that is going to happen. What else do we have? We have Mercury Threats, Dissolve, reduce incoming magical damage from champions from 3 to 12%, to 3 to 10%. So no change for early game, just a change for late game. Play Steel Caps, reduce incoming physical damage from 3 to 10 to 3 to 9, just a late game, so no difference for rushing them. Gargoyle, Stone Plate, base shield from 20% to 50% of your maximum health, and the shield cap scaling with champions armor magic resist is 30% maximum health and not 28. And for every enemy nearby, the bonus shield cap scaling with champions armor and magic resist from 12% maximum health to 10% maximum health. So we are nerfing Stoneplate. Okay, very good. I like to see a Stoneplate nerf. As for skins, we see Battle Cat Gwen, Battle Tiger Graves, Battle Dolphin. Where are the dolphin features, bro? Battle Squirrel Zeri, Shanghai Scroll Fizz, Shanghai Scrolls Kog'Maw, and Shanghai Scrolls Gnar. Okay, they're so cute, they're adorable. Anyways, interesting patch, most definitely. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have anything that you disagree with or would love to see, just let me know. And yeah, we'll see each other for another tier list very soon. Take care and have a beautiful day.